Hello guys, welcome to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I'm going to talk about the Mahadasha of 8th house planet and the birth chart of ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. Before I begin the topic, I just want to mention that I give free astrology consultations. If you're interested, you can find the information in the description box. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so every time I post a new video, you can get the notification in your inbox. Alright, let's get to the topic. So 2-3 weeks ago I posted a video about ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, his birth chart, and former President of Pakistan, Mr. Zardari. And in that video I predicted that Imran Khan would lose the vote of no confidence motion against him. And at that time, all the media houses in Pakistan, if you would watch, like the media news, they were giving like 200%, 300% guarantee that Imran Khan would win this no confidence motion vote against him, and he's not going anywhere. That's what they were telling the people. But I mentioned in that video that he's under 8th house planet, which is Jupiter Mahadasha, and anytime you run under 8th house Mahadasha, you're gonna have certain ups and downs. One day you're the most famous person in the world, and the second day you're the most hated person in the world. And that's what happened for the past 3 weeks. Someday he's like extremely popular in the country, and the next day like he's going home and losing against the judicial system and fighting with the army chief and like all the other politicians, and his own people actually betrayed him. Excuse me. So the problem is, in that video I mentioned that Jupiter is sitting in the 8th house, and I make a lot of videos about Tushtana houses, because if you just talk about good houses, everybody knows about good houses. Everybody knows, okay, what's the second house gonna do in your life, what is like 4th house, 5th house. But a lot of people, why they go look for answers when they're under Dustana houses Mahadasha. If you're under 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, Mahadasha or Antardasha, then you would turn to astrology. Otherwise, if you're making millions and millions of dollars, you don't care about astrology. You're not gonna go to any astrologer to consult. Okay, so most of the people, they go to astrologers when they're under 6th house, 8th house, 12th house Mahadasha. And that's the reason I make a lot of videos about 8th house, 6th house, and 12th house, especially for 8th house. I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. Today we are gonna understand 8th house a little bit more using ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan birth chart. So as you can see on the screen, he's under Jupiter Mahadasha, and Jupiter is sitting in the 8th house with moon. So if you go to like any person who is really new to astrology, and he doesn't know, like after ABC, he doesn't know what is like DEF. So he's gonna say, oh, 8th house Mahadasha is coming, this person is going to die in an accident. which can be true, because 8th house means accidents. But Jupiter in the 8th house in Aries sign with moon gave him the kingship of the country. He was under Rahu Mahadasha. His Rahu Mahadasha was the most worst Mahadasha for him, because before that he was a celebrity, cricket celebrity, and then he made Shokathanam, which is a cancer treatment hospital, and they treat people for free of cost over there. But for really long time he disappeared from the big scene. Okay, and he was doing politics, maybe like in his party, maybe one or two people in his party, political party. But as soon as he entered, and look at his Rahu is, in 5th house can make you a celebrity, and he was actually a celebrity. But as soon as he entered Rahu Mahadasha, he disappeared from the scene. So what happened? There is a very simple way to tell this. I have this thumb of rule. If you have great Rahu Mahadasha, then you're gonna have really difficult time in Jupiter Mahadasha, because Rahu is gonna show you a lot of glamour, a lot of unusual things, and you're gonna love them. And when you're gonna enter Jupiter Mahadasha, in which Mahadasha you're gonna need to learn a lot of new things, and then you're not gonna like it, because in your mind, you're on top of the world, and you're not gonna like it. So if you have good Rahu Mahadasha, get yourself prepared for Jupiter Mahadasha, because Jupiter Mahadasha is going to be a little bit difficult for you. And if you have difficult Rahu Mahadasha, then Jupiter Mahadasha is going to be really good for you. It doesn't matter where Jupiter or Rahu are placed in your chart. It doesn't matter. Trust me. So as soon as he entered Jupiter Mahadasha, he became the Prime Minister of Pakistan. He gained the momentum and eventually became the Prime Minister. He entered Jupiter Mahadasha, what I recall is 2014, and he became the Prime Minister in 2017, if I'm not wrong. Then what happened? He was doing fine. Sudden ups and downs during his tenure as a prime minister. Same thing, major ups and downs in his popularity. Some weeks he's extremely popular, the second week he's not that popular among people. So when I made that video, what I looked, he was under Ketu Antardasha, and Ketu is sitting in his 11th house. So 11th house is all about your friends circle, social network. Okay, and if you guys follow Pakistani politics, and especially the recent events, what happened? His own party people, they left him. A lot of probably 20 or 25 people left his party, and they joined other parties, and they actually casted vote against Imran Khan. So 11th house means your friends, and Ketu sitting there means your friends are going to betray you. Okay, so that's why he got betrayed by his own people, the people he trusted as his friends. Then Jupiter also represent judges. Okay. So he, on the day of no confidence motion vote, I mean, they wasted the whole day, and the vote was like supposed to happen during the day, but they dragged it to the midnight. Yeah, that's right. And then Supreme Court, I mean, imagine countries like Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Imagine Supreme Court opened in the middle of the night on Sunday Sunday night, and five panel judged. They came to hear their opposition party case. Sunday midnight. It was like probably 11 o'clock on Sunday night. So what happened? Because Jupiter is sitting in 8th house. So Jupiter, as I mentioned earlier, that Jupiter also represents judges. So they went with opposition party, and they said if like Imran and his people, if they drag this to the next day, like till like Monday, then they are in contempt of court. They are breaking the constitution. So the vote has to be done on the day they mentioned the Supreme Court. So that's why now Imran Khan is also against Jupiter, means judges. Jupiter also represents your guardian. So who's the guardian of Pakistan? Guardian. Guardian means establishment for the country, advisors. Okay? So for Pakistan, it is army. Okay? So even army went against him during that time. So let me tell you what's going to happen. That's like for the past. Now, again, he's extremely popular. He's doing all the rallies, and dharnas and whatnot. He's gathering a lot of people, during his rallies. But what's going to happen in the future? What I think, because he's under Jupiter Mahadasha and Ketu Antardasha for the next like 12, 13 months. And Ketu in 11th house means he's going to be isolated. And what I mean by that, I mean, if Ketu was placed in 12th house, that's like for sure he's going to be isolated in like jail type of scenario, or house arrest. And in 11th house, it can also mean, like still a lot of friends are going to leave him, or he's going to go to jail because he needs to be in isolation. And then as soon as the Ketu Mahadasha ends, then Mercury Mahadasha is gonna come. I mean, not Mercury. I mean, sorry, Venus. Where's Venus? Antardasha. So then he's going to get extremely popular again, like celebrity type persona again. So then he's going to get his like throne back again. And that's what I think is going to happen with him. Right now, he's under really tough time. So because Jupiter in the 8th house and Ketu Antardasha. Okay, let's talk about 8th house because that's the reason I'm making this video. So again, I'm going to tell you the same exact thing. 8th house makes your personality like so magnetic that if you raise your finger, then people, like can give their lives for you. That's the magic of 8th house. It makes you a cult leader. All the dictators, all the like spiritual leaders like Osho Rajneesh, if you don't know Osho Rajneesh, just Google him. And there is a Netflix series on him as well, Wild Wild West. He was extremely popular. And most of his planets are sitting in the 8th house. Amitabh Bachchan, even though he never used that kind of his power, but 8th house makes you a cult leader. So different planets act differently. So Jupiter and Moon for Imran Khan, people see him as the founding father because Jupiter means like he's giving them something new. He's what Jupiter does, like your teacher, it teaches you new thing. So Imran Khan is giving new idea to the people of Pakistan that, listen, corruption is bad. I know, like you guys already know, but that's the way, it's supposed to be done. And I'm gonna help you to fix this system. If like Mars is sitting in the 8th house, that's a clear cut shot. If you just Google or YouTube it, like Mars in the 8th house, you're gonna see a lot of negative videos. But Mars in the 8th house give you so much power. If you know any dictator, people like Saddam Hussein, I'm not really sure if he has Mars in the 8th house, but I'm just giving you an example. Saddam Hussein, people like Osho Rajneesh, and a lot of other people. I don't really know that kind of dictators, but Mars makes you a dictator in the 8th house, cult leader, especially among young people, because Mars represents young blood, young people. Okay? Sun represents government. So if you have Sun in the 8th house, you can become immensely powerful if you are under if Sun is sitting in good dignity in the 8th house. One thing I just want to clear that I'm not talking about Marna Karna Sthana, because I know for Mercury it's a Marna Karna Sthana, but means like it's a death house for Mercury. But even if Mercury is sitting in the 8th house, you're gonna be extremely popular amongst business community, amongst merchants. Even it's like affecting your health or other factors, but makes you extremely popular. Rahu gives sudden gain, like lottery winning, that kind of stuff. Saturn represents like labor class people. Saturn also represents your IRS. So maybe you get a huge lump sum amount, tax return. Or you're extremely popular among labor class people, union leader. So okay, anytime you go through 8th house Mahadasha, don't just assume that you're under 8th house planet Mahadasha and then it's going to be bad. I mean, 8th house can make you like king, just like Imran Khan, or a cult leader. Okay, so you need to see the dignity. See, Jupiter is sitting in the Aries sign. So what is Aries? Aries means it's the first house energy. It means your personality, your like persona. So that's the reason that everybody look up to him. Everybody sees him right now as like the father of the nation because Jupiter. Okay, so I hope this video helps. The next video I'm gonna make about geopolitics, and I know I need to make video about the poll as well that I did like 2 weeks ago. That poll got like, I think like 9 votes, and you guys, it is your guys like call. So I'm gonna make video about different houses and their meanings in astrology, in Vedic astrology. Okay, if you like this video, please hit like button and also share this video with your family and friends. Alright guys, take care.